Aye, we'll be all right. Aye, we'll be
So
all
over to you, Paul. I'll get
right.
people in.
Now you let me know whenever you want me to start, lad, and I'll start.
You start, Paul, and I'll let the rest in.
Start right. You let me know whenever, lad, and then I'll start. I don't want anybody to miss out anything, you know. Hey, you're about to witness history here. You're witnessing history. So you are. Right, we ready to go?
Yeah, you crack on.
Right. So first fly I'm going to tie is my Spent Wet Mayfly. This was published in the Fly Fishing Fly Tying magazine there, in the August issue. And it's been a fantastic pattern for me. It really has. Um, anywhere, anywhere that gets a hatch on Mayfly, this fly seems to do really, really well. Even locks that don't get hatches on Mayflies, just because of the profile and the shape of the fly. Um, it just seems to do really well. It's got that movement, it's got all the trigger points, everything that brown trout love. So that's what I'm going to tie for you this evening. Um, that's the hooks that I'm tying on there. It's the Full Mull competition heavy with bronze size 10. If you haven't got that hook, another good hook that they tie the fly on is a Amazon B175 size 10. Either or. Any sprayed spruce, any hook at all, any size 10. Um, it'll do the job. So it will. I'm using Semperflex Classic Wax, black thread, and so we come down to the barbell hook, and what we're going to tie on is a red holographic tinsel. So it's going to be a red holographic tag in the Ursula fly. So just catch it on here at the back of the hook. Come forward, tie the tag in, come all the way to the line because this keeps the body uniform, and then come back down towards the barbell hook again. There we are. That's also the barbell hook. Okay. So, and we're just taking a red holographic tinsel and we're just going to form a tag in the Ursula fly. So I like to come back about 4 or 5 turns. So is the tag's quite pronounced, it's quite noticeable. I like it to be quite noticeable. And then come back up to the barbell hook again. Come across the shangle of hook, tie it off, tie it on. That's it done. That's it, got in. Boom, boom, boom. Shorten that up a wee bit. There we go. So that's it tied on. Come on with my scissors and trim it off. Now at this stage, what I do like to do. Can you see that okay, Derek? Yeah? Can you
Yeah,
all
that's
see
fine.
that okay? Yep.
Yeah.
Right. At this stage, for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to do it, but what I would normally like to do is just apply a coat of super glue to the tag. The reason being, as you all know yourselves, some of them trout can be toothy and it just tears the tag to bits. So it does. So what I would normally like to do is just apply a wee coat of super glue. But for the purposes of this video, I'm just going to carry on. Now the tail of the fly is just pheasant tail, but it's dyed black. So it is, it's dyed black. So what you want to do is you want to take now your real life mayfly will have um it'll have 3 tails coming out of the back end at the bottom of the mayfly. A real mayfly will have the 3 prongs coming out of the back. So it will. However, we're not going to tie on 3. What I like to normally do is tie on 4 or 5. So there we go. What I do is just tear them off at the stem at a 90-degree angle. Tear them off. What you're wanting to do, once you tear them off from the main feller, I like to hold them, and you can see if I put that there to the hook of the fly, you can see the sweeping effect. You can see that natural sweeping effect, and that resembles also the live mayfly. I'm going to get rid of that one because it doesn't want to fit right. So there we go. So you can see there the natural curve at the back. Now, whenever it comes to tying flies, everything that you can taught proportion wise, you want your tail to be the same length for a hook, etc., etc. Ignore that. I ignore that with this fly. So you want the tail nice and long. I usually go for about twice the length of the hook. So about there. That's what I'm normally looking for. So what I do, just hold the pheasant tail fibres there in my finger and my thumb, form a loop, and round about it like that, and just bring it down. First turn, just nice and loose, and then wind back towards the edge of the red tag, and then just see how it's sitting. And there we have it. That's there's not one. There's one fibre there. Not there. It's not one to behave itself. There we go. I'm going to leave it like that. And here, what I'll do, come on from the ends in a taper. What I'll do, where you've tied your tying thread on, that's where I like to take my taper to. Leave yourself about 3 or 4 mil back from the eye of the hook. Just drum that at a taper. Wee bit of wax on your thread. Wee bit of wax in the thread. And then just come down and just tidy that up. On the way down, you don't need to be too fussy. All you're doing is catching it and securing it. And then when you're coming back down this way, that's when you want to be fussy. Nice, even, touch and turns. Keep the body nice and even. All the way down. And if it helps at this stage, punch the pheasant tail fibres. Keep an eye on your tying silk and just make sure you're winding back. They line it up. There we go. Now look at that. Nice. Nice. Oh, there's still one fibre there. It's not one to behave itself. Anyway, we'll carry on. That's the kind of effect you're looking for. That nice sweep, that nice sweeping pronged effect. For the ribble of fly, I like to use this black floss. So it is. It's just semper floss. So it is just standard black floss. And so we'll trim a bit of that off. Now the full strand itself is a wee bit too much. So if you untwist the end of it, let's see if we can get it, you'll notice that it almost tries to come under a wee fork, and you can punch it and you can half it like that, and it just pulls apart. So what it does is it reduces the bulk of your rib. If you keep it whole, you can still tie it with a floss hole if you like, if you prefer. But to me, whenever you're winding it up through your body hackle, it just catches in too much hackle. You can't get the proper profile and the proper shape to the fly. So I like to half it. And then when you're tying it on, just dampen the ends. Trim it so it's a nice clean cut. Takes away all the frayed ends from halving it. And just catch it in underneath. And then again, same again. Come down the body, tie it in, secure it, and then come back down. Nice even touch and turns. We're keeping everything uniform. So that you've got a nice even body on the fly. And again, just apply a bit of wax to our thread. And the body of the fly consists of pearl flashabou. And it is this stuff here. That's it there. Pearl flashabou. It's just white with a bit of pearl and UV through it. But in the water, it stands out really, really well. Bit awkward to work with at times because of the way the fibres of the material is. You need to work with it. Kind of tear it in half and then put it back together and tear it in half again, so that it dubs onto the silk nice and evenly. If you don't do that, it can tend to be quite clumpy. So I'll just keep my rub back out of the road. I'm just going to double flash and be on. There we go. Should be enough. So I'll keep my rub to the side, starting at the edge of the red tag. I'm just going to come down, shangle the hook, nice even touch and turns. You don't want any of your black silk shining through. So there we go. That looks good to me. I'm just going to try and keep the rub out of the way. Make sure it doesn't interfere with the tail. There we are. So the body hackle on the fly is a white hen. a white hen haggle. So it is just a standard generic white hen cape. Now, the size of the haggle's entirely up to yourself. It's whatever way you like to fish, whatever way you like to tie your flies. Myself, this is a fly that I would generally fish in a big wave. So it is whenever there's a big wind blowing and white horses on the water, they say. So I tend to exaggerate my haggles. So I do. Especially the head and the shoulder haggles. So just select a haggle here, trim off the fluff. Now, a wee helpful tip for you, you might know this, you might not, but if you're going to tie a feller or a haggle in at the base, the stalk of the fly, see if you get your fingernail and thumbnail, and if you just press it on the stem of the haggle and crush it, and then pull it forward, what it does is it reduces the bulk. It takes the air out of the fibre and it reduces the bulk. And it means you can tie the haggle in at the base, so as you're going from the larger fibres back to the smaller fibres, and what it does is it creates a natural taper on the fly. And that's a handy wee tip on reducing bulk on the fly. So I'm going to catch that in there. Couple of turns just to secure it. Come on with my scissors, trim that away. Take my haggle pliers, and now we're going to form the palmered haggle on the fly. So I like to get one full turning at the shoulder, and then start working your way back. So that's 1, 2, 3. Generally, what I try and aim for is 4 turns. And just come in them with your black floss, catch it on the back, wind it through. Oh, that was lucky. That was pure jammy. That nipped just as I caught it in. But it's caught in regardless. And then just bring your black floss down a nice, even touching turns. I like to wind it through the fibre so that not too many fibres get caught. It's not essential to do that because you're going to take the brush, either your Velcro brush or whatever you've got, to the body of it anyway. Catch it in there, tie your floss off. Another turn or two just to secure it. Then we can come in, trim that away. Tonight, what I like to do, I've got a toothbrush. I've got an old toothbrush, and what I did was I took a Stanley knife to the blade of it. See if you trim the fibres of the toothbrush right back, and it almost acts as a Velcro. And then you can just take it the either side of the fly. And what not only does it tease the hackle fibres out, but see your flash about, it teases all that out as well. So it does. So bring all them out, and then just brush it all back. So that's the body of a fly complete. And there's a couple of wee fibres in it, don't want to play ball. So don't be too worried about getting them brushed back like that. It's not essential because whenever you're stripping the fly through the water's going to do that to the fly anyway naturally. So it is. If you really wanted to be really, really fussy, you could use the hairdryer. The persuader, as Mr. David McPhail would call it. So the next stage now is the shoulder haggle. And for the shoulder haggle of the fly, it's a large black hen haggle. Sometimes I like to use Indian hen. On Indian hen capes, it can be quite difficult to get a feller big enough. So a useful tip is, see if you have a black cock saddle cape, or even a black Chinese cock neck. If you go to the reverse of the cape, that side here, the back of the cape, you will find these larger fellers at the back. A lot of them are really, really soft. Sometimes softer than the actual hen fellers. So if you're struggling to get a feller big enough in your hen cape, go to the back of your black cock cape if you have one, and you'll find larger, softer feathers at the back of it. So what I like to do generally is if you were tying a standard size 10 fly, if you're winding your haggle right there, you're wanting the top of that haggle to tie in with the point of your hook. Right? I don't like to do that with these style of flies. In my opinion, the more movement, the more effective the fly, because it's the movement and the way the fly reacts under the water. That's what's catching the fish's attention. That's why they take your fly. So same again with the stock. Because I want the tapered effect, I want to go from the larger fibres to the smaller fibres. That's why I'm tying it on with a stock. If I was tying salmon flies, or if I was tying fancy flies for a photo shoot for a magazine, I would tie them with a tip, try and reduce the bulk, make everything look picture perfect. But these are fishing flies. These are fish catching flies. So again, just crush the stem, crush the stalk, and right at the edge of the white end, I'm just going to catch that and pull them back a little way. Don't want any of them fibers getting caught. So if we just pull them back, there, that looks better. And then just a couple of turns just to secure it. And come over scissors, come away that out. Here at the front, yes, if you want to use your haggle pliers, you can. There's no real need for them. What I like to do is dampen the tips of my fingers with my tongue and tease these fibers back. And then as you're winding it, use your finger to hold them back in place. And what that'll do is it'll give the black haggle fibers that lovely flared look. So that Mayfly profile on my time. So that's three. And then one more. The black haggle, what it does is it adds a lovely contrast to the flight. And you'll see why now in a minute whenever I tie on the head haggle. So just come up with your tying silk, catch it and pull that 90 degrees to the shank of the hook, and that's it, caught it. And then just a couple of turns to secure it. Come on. Trim away your waist. And again, toothbrush, just brush all that out. And then just come in and tidy up. So now we're ready for the head haggle. And you can see already, like, there we go, that's better. So you see your black tail, you can still see the red holographic tag, the pearl body, the white haggle, and the black haggle. You can see the contrast in the fly already developing. So you can see why it is appealing to the fish in the water. Now the head haggle is natural French partridge. And this is the biggest haggle on the fly. So it is. This one has to be the biggest haggle on the fly. And you're looking for that what do we say? That lat shape on the head haggle. Just see that flare. So that when you're pulling it through the water, the haggles are folding down and opening back out again. That's that movement there when you're stripping the fly through the water. That's what entices the fish to take your fly. Whether there's mayfly hatching or not, that movement and those haggles, that natural movement pulling it through a wave, that's what makes the fly, the trout take the fly. So I like to go as big as I possibly can with a head haggle. A lot of people don't like it, they don't think it looks right, whatever, the proportions, etc. But believe you me, it catches fish. And that's why we do it. Oh, it's the movement there. That's exactly what it is, Paul. See at the end of the day, that's why we tie flies. We tie flies to go and catch fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just strum away all the useless fluff at the bottom. Now you'll notice on the French partridge feather, there will be, see like that side there, you'll see that this side of the fibres haven't got the black barb on it the way that side has. So see them, Just get rid of them. That's just useless. It's no good to you. Just get rid of them. Okay, and then you'll notice the feather might be uneven. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about it at all. It'll still tie on fine. So do the same thing again because you're going from the larger fibers back to the shorter fibers. You want that natural taper. They follow through that you've already tied on the fly. So keep it flowing. So again, we crush the stem, the stalk, crush it down with your fingernail and your thumbnail. For a wee bit of wax in the thread. And right at the edge of the black fibers, again, I'm just going to catch the portage on, and then just a couple of turns down towards the eye to lock it in. Come on, trim away your waist. This is where a good pair of sharp scissors comes in handy. Now, for the French portage, I would suggest using your hackle pliers because once you come towards the end, the hackles can shorten up real quick. You just get a better wrap whenever you use your hackle pliers. But I like to do the same thing again. I dampen my fingertips and I like to pull the fibers back. And when I'm winding the hackle around, I just like to keep my forefinger on those fibers just to keep that shape. And if you keep it just nice even turns, you can already see the shape of the head hackle taking place. And again, when you're winding it, keep your forefinger on the fibers. And what it does is it keeps them back in that position that you want them in. Whenever you bring it around. Yeah, look, see, you can see it already. And we'll get one more turn out of this. That's it. And now you can finally see the benefit of the black shoulder hackle behind the head hackle. It's the contrast. So I'm just going to bring my tie and silk over, pull that again, 90 degrees till the shank of the hook, release it, and then just lock it in. A couple of turns, just to lock it in. Come on again, now we make nice sharp scissors. Just trim that off. And again, you get your toothbrush and just all them lovely barbed fibers, just brush them out, brush them back all the way around the flight, underneath it, check it, keep brushing it back, brushing it back, brushing it back. What I'm going to do now is just going to tidy the head area up and finish the fly off. Just form a nice wee circular, bulky head.
Everybody will be down the chemist tomorrow getting replacement toothbrushes.
Hey lads, it was the fellow that taught me the boy that taught me how to tie my first fly hawk years and years and years ago. And that's what he said to me. He said, "If you get no toothbrush," I says, "Aye." And he says, "Well, ask your dad for a Lenny a Stanley knife and trim all the fibers right back." And it just does the same thing, the exact same thing as Velcro. I've been using the same one ever since. So I have. I have the Velcro brushes and that there, but I've always used this, so I just always keep going back to it. So that now, if I was tying that fly there for a fancy photograph, to go onto a magazine or whatever, what I would normally do is whenever I'm finished a fly, hold the tail and see all the fibers of the fly, pull them all forward. Try and pull them all forward, forward of the hook like that, and then see if you get the hairdryer and you hit all that with a hairdryer. It gives the fly such an amazing profile, just that natural mayfly profile look. So it does, but it's as I say, it's not essential to do that because whenever you're stripping the fly through the water will create that effect on the fibers naturally. So it will. Let me see. I'll see if I can. Blah, blah, blah. I'll see if I can see if I can get the hairdryer. The hairdryer's here somewhere, and I'll show you what I mean. Oh, what happened there? So all we have left to do is just whip finish. Oh, what did I do here? It's just whip finish, luckily. I'm all tangled here. There we go. Aye, just come on. Yeah, whip finish till 1, 2, 3, 4. What I like you do is keep the lip finish in the centre. If you keep it right dead in the centre of the head, it creates that nice wee circular effect. And I like to put two on it. I do that with all my flies. Everything, no matter what I'm tying. So I like to put two lip finishes in. And then once you varnish it, then you know it's nice and secure. It's never going anywhere. Never going anywhere at all. So that's that tied off. Right, let me see if I can find the hairdryer for you, and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So what I'll do is I'll pull all these fibres forward of the eye. The most important one is the partridge hackle. It's that French partridge. So if you take these two fingers and your thumb like so, and just pull them all forward, it pulls it all forward of the eye evenly. And then whenever you put the hairdryer on it, they blow back evenly, creating that nice profile. So what do you see now? Just give me 2 minutes, freeze, and I'll find the hairdryer. And you'll see the effect that I'm talking about.
You lads and lasses that joined later, if you go to Paul's picture at the top, where the three little dots are, click on that and you can pin him. So Paul will
Here we
see
go.
center screen.
Right. So keep an eye on this now, what you see. I'm going to turn this hairdryer on there, and all the materials in the desk is just going to fly everywhere. But you'll be able to see what I mean. That's what happens. I forget myself all the time and do it, and then your stuff ends up everywhere. Right, what do we see? So, see, you can see it forming already.
Yeah.
There you are. That's the profile. That's the profile there that I'm talking about. It's almost like an umbrella effect over the entire flight. That's it. That's the effect that you're looking for a mayfly when you're fishing any kind of mayfly. That is the shape that you're after. So there we go. That's it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And as I say, it's that almost umbrella shape. But as I say, the hairdryer is not essential. Having to be pernickety like that with the hackle fibres, it's not essential and it's not crucial because once you're stripping the fly through the water, this effect will happen naturally. So it will. But that's it, guys. That's Paul Black's Spent Wet Mayfly. And it's responsible for quite a few specimen trout up in Ascent, South East, down in Galloway, Dumfries and Galloway. It's been very successful for me, especially the boys. All my muckers from back home, they fish Loch Corrib and Loch Mask, Loch Sheelan, everywhere the big limestone lochs where you get the mayfly. It's done really well over the last couple of years. It's one I'm quite proud of. So that's it. That's the first one, guys. There you have it.
Tidy.
So get them tied up, and if he's if he's any big locks round about these close days, even if they don't get a mayfly hatch, just still fish them. If you get a decent wave on the water, definitely still fish them, 100%. As I say, it's that movement. It's the movement in the fly that entices them try to take it. So next, what will I do for you, Mike? Last year, no, sorry, 2 years ago, um, it was my second trip to Southeast. So it was, by the way, for any of these that's thinking about it, wanting to do it, and they've been humming and hawing about it for the last couple of years, just do it. Get it booked and go. So if you're a trout fisherman, my God, it's paradise. So it is. The Eust is amazing. But I do a lot of estuary fishing for sea trout. So I do, and whenever you go to the Eust, there's plenty of salmon and sea trout fishing on the Eust, but it's all loch still. There's no real river system as such. On the Hebridean, well, not all the Hebridean islands, sorry, there's river systems in Lewis and Horace, but on North Eust and South Eust, there's no real river systems. It's generally all loch style fishing. So it is. So I devised the loch style shrimp for sea trout and salmon, and I named this one the ghost shrimp. That's what I call it. And I fish it in the Clyde estuary, for the sea trout and slob trout, and it does really really well. I tied them up and I took them to South East with me. I couldn't believe the results. And then whenever I left Eust, the guy that I know that stays in Eust, he lives there. I left a few for him, and they've done really really well for the silver tourists. So I call this one the ghost shrimp. I'm just going to need to change my time so I'll go over here from black to white. So again, it's just Semperflight classic waxed white thread, and the same size of hook again, size 10. Either the Amazon B175 or the Fulham Mill competition heavy, size 10. Sprites, the sprite competition heavy will do the same thing as well. Or your spruits, whatever size 10 you have, as long as it's not short shank. Right. So I'm just going to come in here, a couple of mil behind the eye. Pardon me. And just tie onto the hook. Oh, that's no good, is it? I just nipped. See. Right. Hopefully that's us now. Take two. So,
Happens all the
so
time.
the materials that we'll need for the it does, lad, it does. Especially if you put too much wax on your thread and you're changing spools between bobbin holders and all the rest of it, and go back to one that you've already waxed, and you try if the wax has been sitting for a while, and then you try and stretch it, it just breaks. See if anybody's got a tip to get your thread through your bobbin holder any easier, please share it with me, because see this, there's times I just get up and walk away from the vice because I can't be bothered with this.
Little dental sticks, Paul.
Aye,
You know the little
I've
plastic
heard.
things with a loop on.
I actually have the loop. I have the wee metal loop you put through it to pull the thread through, but I just don't have the patience, Derek, sometimes to be looking for it and using it.
Not the metal one, the little plastic ones. You get a box of about 20 in a from the dentist.
Right.
And they're like a little blue plastic thing with a loop on the end.
Oh, aye, right, aye. Yeah, I never thought of it.
And
I
they're
never thought
perfect,
of
they are.
it. Aye.
You can have them all over the place.
Right, the materials for this fly is it's natural guinea fowl, the white hen hackle again. It's a paired body with a silver wire rib, and then a natural French partridge shoulder hackle, and then the fly's finished off with a natural guinea fowl feather at the head. And it's the guinea fowl tail and the guinea fowl head hackle that gives the fly that real natural shrimpy look. So it is along with the paired body. So I'm gonna get a smoke of a gun here. So we'll just come down the shangle of the hook, nice even touch and turns. And again, once we get to the barb, I'm just going to put a wee bit of wax in my thread. As you can see, that wax is well used. There's all sorts of fillers stuck to it. There's everything on there. Wee bit of wax to the thread. And the tail, where is it now? The tail material is natural. There we go. It's just natural guinea fowl. So just to select any kind of, I like to, I like to use. There we go. With guinea fowl, I'll show you this. So you can see there that feller. There's quite a lot of barbs through that feller, and then you'll get this kind of feller with a guinea fowl where the white circles are more prominent. There's not as many barbs through that. I prefer using the barbed one. But I believe it's got that more natural shrimpy look. So I do. So I'll always for the tail and for the head haggle. But that you can see the barbs through the entirety of the fibers there. I prefer the barbed feathers as I do to the more pronounced circles in the feathers. So you just strum away the waist at the bottom, and then all you're looking for is maybe 5 or 6 fibers, and that'll do for your tail. And again, it's entirely up to yourself what way you like to fish your flies, your proportions, etc. But for me, bigger is always better, especially if you're fishing in the wave. If you're fishing in the salt water too, where I fish this fly a lot, you're fishing for trout that are in and they're hungry, they're feeding, they're looking for a substantial meal. No, it's not like dry fly fishing. No, where you need to be good. Everything needs to be nice and neat and presentable, and has to be perfect to try and fill the trout. That's not what these kind of flies is for. So the tail of the fly, this one not quite twice the length. If you go twice the length, it's too big. It can spoil the profile of the fly. So what I'd like to do is go maybe 1.5. So there for me, and I can actually see it on the camera looking at it. You can see the black and white barbed effect through the tail of the fly. It just gives it that natural shrimpy look. So again, catch the the fibers in your finger and your thumb, form a pinch and lip, and just pull down, tie it up. Have a wee look, tidy up, couple of turns to secure it, and then do the same thing again. Come on with your scissors, where you've come on with your tying silk, 3-4 mil at the back of the eye, and just trim that and a nice taper. And then wind down, tidy it up. On the way down, you don't need to be too fussy. All you're doing is securing it on. But when you get to here and you're coming back, that's when I like to be fussy. Come down nice, even, touching turns. Securing, unlocking everything. And now, the rubble of fly is just silver wire. Any medium-sized silver wire will do. Don't need to be fancy or too fussy with it. And I like to catch it underneath. And this bit here, I like to keep that the full length of the body of the fly again. And that's purely just to keep the body uniform, keep everything in proportion. Catch it in underneath. Just line it up with your tying silk, make sure it's thereabouts, and then again, come down. You don't need to be too fussy on the way down because you're just locking it in, and then you're coming back towards the barb of the hook, nice even, touching turns. And that keeps your body, you'll see there, you'll notice, your body's nice and uniform, perfect proportions. Now the body, I use this, a Shuni Miler, paired, and it's a size 14, which is a medium size. You can go a wee one smaller, which is fine, and then you can go a size bigger again, which is large. Salmon flies, size 10s and 8s, I would use a large, but anything below a size 10, especially in a single hook for a trout fly, the medium size 14 is perfect. It's ideal. So it is. So I'm just going to cut a wee length off. And I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to catch it in underneath along with a silver rub. Do the same thing again. Keep it the same length as the body of the fly. Tie it in right at the edge of the guinea fowl, and then just come down the body. A nice even touching turns. And that's it, secured. The benefit of using the white tying silk, if I was to tie this fly in black tying silk and then wrapped the mother of pearl over the black, it would almost it gives the fly, because I have tried it, it gives the fly almost a translucent green effect in the body. Whereas if you use the white, the pearl colour of the tinsel stays true. So we're just coming down with the shank of the hook on nice overlapping turns. Overlap every turn behind it, so that there's no gaps at all in your tinsel body. If you wanted to be really, really fussy, whenever you got the land, you could put a coat of varnish or a coat of super glue on the tinsel just to protect it. But the silver rub also protects it. Once you get to this stage, just catch it in. That's it. Couple of turns just to secure it. And then just trim away your waist. And it's at this stage now we're going to put on the palmered hackle on the fly. And that's again, it's just your white hen hackle. With this fly, don't exaggerate the body hackle as much as you would have exaggerated for the mayfly. So almost tie this almost in proportion, if you would like, the standard fly. And by proportion, what I mean is the hackle fibers will extend from the body to the point of the hook. That's what I mean whenever I say in proportion. Maybe you could go maybe slightly larger, but all the movement and the effect in this fly comes from the shoulder hackle and the head hackle. You away to it? Hey? Where? Sorry guys, give me 2 minutes. So missus, she's just getting ready to go. She's on constant night shift. We could turn out from 8 in the morning, 8 or 8 at night to 8 in the morning. Right. So just trim the fluff off, trim away the waste at the bottom. And again, if you want, sorry, pardon me, you could tie this in by the top. Tease all them fibers back at the top and tie it on like that. And it would reduce the bulk massively. But whenever you do that, you lose the tapered effect, and I like the tapered effect. I will never tie a mullet up if I'm trying to tie fancy. If I'm tying flies to try and catch fish, this is the way you want to go. So again, just crush the stem. I'm going to catch that on at the edge of the pearl tinsel. Couple of turns just to secure it. Come back and trim the waist of it. Where my hackle blade? Somewhere. Oh. So again, like a full turn right at the shoulder of the fly. Again, teasing the hackle fiber back. Turn and a half, probably that was there, and then start coming down the fly. That's 1 down the body, 2 down the body, and there 3, and that's plenty. That's plenty for this. And just catch your silver wire, bring it up through, wind through the hackles, and that's it, locked on. And then just come down the body again, nice even touching turns. I like to wind through the hackle. When I take the brush, I still like to wind through. That's just how I was taught. Catch that in. Pull those fibers back. Come in again with a nice couple of touching turns, and see if you hold your tinsel tight here and then just wiggle your wire, it just comes away, breaks away, and it's nice and secure here. And if you hold the excess bit at the back that you're going to trim away, just hold that and then brush all those fibers out, like get caught on whenever you're winding the wire. Brush it all back. And that just breaks away. Just pull it and it just breaks away. There we have it. So that's the body of the fly done and the tail of the fly done. Now comes the business end, as I like to say. So first, a shoulder hackle as natural French partridge, same as the mayfly. Don't go as large with this because it's a shoulder hackle. Don't go as large with this as you would as the head hackle on the mayfly. Go maybe 1 1/3 times longer. So as you can see, that palmered hackle is coming back and they about a quarter of the way under the tail. This shoulder hackle, you want coming just by that again. So you can see the first barb there in the tail of my fingernail. There's the second barb there, now where my fingernail is. That's where you want your shoulder hackle coming. And then the head hackle, the guinea fowl, which gives it the real shrumpy look. You want that overlapping the whole lot. And what that does is that if you can imagine the way a shrimp's legs would move in the water, that's what it creates. It creates that wee natural leggy effect whenever you're pulling the fly through the water. So there's method in the madness, as they say. There's method in the madness. And again, crush the stem because you want that nice tapered effect. And I'm just going to tie this in right in front of your white hen. Before you do, put a wee bit of wax in your zebra grip. I nearly get carried away with myself. Oh, and take two. That's better. And just a couple of turns to secure it. And again with your scissors, trim away the waste. Get your hackle pliers again. And just catch. When you're looking, sorry, I should have explained that probably a wee bit better. These, if you look at a French partridge fella or any hackle fella, you'll see that strip up the middle. There, see that dark stripe up the middle of the top of a fella, and that's where you're wanting to catch them hackle pliers. So when you're coming into your fella and you're looking at it side on, you're looking for that. You're looking for the stalk up the center, and that'll give you the most use out of the fella. And again, just dampen your fingertip and your thumb. Tease the fibers back. And I like to, as I say, keep my fingers on the fibers as I'm wrapping them. It just gives it a better profile. One and two. Two turns. Two turns is plenty. You don't want the French partridge to overpower the guinea fowl. You want the guinea fowl to be the key star, the key element of the fly. And again, 90 degrees to the stem and lock it on. David McPhail is the best in the world that you'll ever see it doing that. So yes, it makes it look so easy. And then just tidy up. Take your brush. Whereas maybe brush there it is there. Just brush everything out nice and even. Go around the full body of the fly. Brush it all out. And you can see there, it's already starting to take the shrimpy look. And I'll take even more of a shrimpy look now whenever we put the guinea fowl on. There's a couple of different ways that you can actually do the guinea fowl. If you've only got large fellers, what do we see? Have we got one? There we go. Right, so say you've only got really, really large fellers that are too big to shoot the hook. Then what you could do is you could cloak the fly. Right, don't know, see the view. You could cloak the feather as you would dabbler style. Um, there we go. That's that one there. The fibres in that are quite large. So as you can see, look at the length of them fibres, right? So if them was only people, it's the same with bronze mallard. People get put off because they think the feather's too big, they can't use it, blah blah blah. But there's a couple of different things you can do. You could tease the fibres off, roll them around the eye of the hook, and then tie them back. And by doing that, you can tie the fibres into whatever size you want. But in doing so, you don't get that natural flare effect on the fly. Right. Oh, that's another fella. See, that's you can see the barbs running right through that. You can the white circles on it are quite pronounced, but if you look closely, you can see the white barbs running through the entirety of the fibre of the fly, and that's what you're after for the shrimpy look. Let me see. I don't think I'll get a better one than that. I'll have a wee quick look in the back. I can see, but if I don't get one, there is better ones there, but they're too small. Um, see, there's one there that would be perfect. It's nearly all barbs. It's just barbs right the way through, but it's just slightly too small. So we'll go with the first one that I picked out. So again, just trim away the useless fluff at the bottom, and because you're wanting that tapered, leggy effect through the flight, again, crush the stem. And it's entirely up to yourself, by the way. Listen, you don't need to do it this way. This is just the way I prefer to do it. You could tie it on the top, keep everything nice and small and neat and perfect if that's the way you want to do it. But I just find there's a way to tie flies for a picture, and there's a way to tie flies to catch fish. This is the fish catching way, in my opinion. So I'm going to catch that on there on the side, and then just a couple more turns towards the eye just to secure it and lock it up. Where's my scissors? It's buried underneath that pile of guinea fowl somewhere. She's going to come back from work in the morning. It's flight timetable's going to be a mess. She's going to go ballistic. So she is. Can I find the handle bar as well? But there we go. So, catch them on. And again, dumping your finger and your thumb. Pull the fibres back. Oh, no way. I will slip. Right. Let's try that again. I will slip because I didn't wax the thread. So I'll just put a wee dab of wax on. Start washing that one again. There we go. And I shouldn't slip this time. Rookie mistake, Paul, eh? Rookie mistake. Trim away the excess. That's the benefit of a nice pair of sharp scissors. You can get right in, nice and tight, keep everything nice and neat. Right, let's try this again. There we are. Dumping your finger and your thumb. Tease all the hackles back. Fibers, sorry. Tease all the fibers in the hackle back. This is where you'll start to see the fly taking its the real shrimpy effect. And as you can see, the guinea fowl just overextending past the French partridge. I'll get one more turn out of that. So I will, and that'll be that. One last turn. And I'll do the same with this fly with a hairdryer and show you the effect. There we go. Come up, catch it in as you're catching it in 90 degrees till the shank. and just trim away your excess. Tidy up. Just build up a nice wee neat head. And by just coming back a couple of turns, it will, as you can see there, naturally push the fibres back. And I'm just going to give me a finished though. And 1, 2, 3. And one more for look. 1, 2. Keep it. Make sure you keep it in the middle. And it creates that wee circular ball effect. Almost like a hot head effect, if you like. Almost as if you had a bead in the fly, but you don't. And just come on. From your going. So I'm going to do the same thing again for you, right? That there. No, sorry. Before I do that, where's my brush? Right. Brush all the fibres out, keep them all nice and even. So there we go. So again, just hold the tail, pinch the tail, and pull the body haggle and the two head haggles. Pull them all forward. There we go. And this is the advantage of the hair dryer, but you see how shrumpy this looks. What I like to do with this flight, because I'm not wanting it sitting away up like that, you're wanting it kind of flat down to form that leggy, shrumpy look. Put the hair dryer on full heat. Turn it up as warm as it can go, and then put the power of the hair dryer up as warm as it can go. So you have the middle setting, and then you have the high setting. You can hear the difference here. And put the heat up full. The more heat you have on it, the more it'll manipulate the fibres. So what do we see here? There you go. And you can just see the effect. See the barb will identify right through the full hackle of the fly. The barbs and the tips of the French partridge just gives it such a natural shrumpy effect. Look, it's fantastic. I love it. And seeing in the salt water, on the estuary, also on the freshwater lochs where you have fresh run salmon and sea trout, up in the use especially. But you can see why they like it. It's just so shrumpy looking. And then all you need to do that 2 coats of varnish, or else a coat of super glue and a coat of varnish in the head, and that's it. Job done. Boom. But that is fantastic on the estuaries. So it is absolutely fantastic. I love it. What's that? Sorry, Derek.
How would you fish it? With a floating line or intermediate sinker?
It all depends on the conditions on the day, Derek. Generally, if I'm on the estuary, because of the swing of the tide, I very, very rarely fish a full floater whenever I'm fishing at the estuary. I'll always fish an intermediate line for the reason being, if you're fishing with a full floating line and you've got the pull of the tide pulling your line round, generally with a floating line, the tide will pull your fly line round too fast, so your fly isn't fishing for as long as it should be. It's not, your fly's not staying in the position in the water where you want it to be for long enough because the tide's pulling it round too fast. If you fish with an intermediate or a slow sinking line, your line's cutting down through the water. The tide can't pull it round as fast. Therefore, your fly is fishing where you want it to be just for that extra 10, 15 seconds longer. Therefore, you're covering the fish for longer. So you're increasing your chances of a fish actually taking your fly because your fly is in where you want it to be for that bit longer. So that's why I tend not to fish a floating line at the estuary. Fishing the lochs, however, if you're fishing a freshwater loch, the likes of the islands, then yes, depending on the conditions, if it's mild and if it's overcast, there's no sunshine, by all means, I put it on a full floater or a midge tip. Um, Generally in a big wave, I love to fish a hoverline with wet flies. I really love it. The hoverline fishes about 6 to 8 inches under the surface film. Um, the trout and salmon, they just seem to take your fly with that much more confidence. Whenever it's not right on the top of the water. Don't get me wrong, obviously, in very, very low water conditions, you'll fish the hitch fly, you'll fish dry flies right in the top of the water, depending on the conditions and the climate on the day. But if I'm fishing wet flies, my preferred method is the hover line. If I'm fishing the estuary, it's an intermediate line all day long. As I say, it just keeps your fly in that fishy area where you want it for that wee bit longer before the tide pulls it right under the side, if you know what I mean. So that's the ghost shrimp, guys. That's hugely, hugely successful, especially with a silver tourist. Great, great lock style and estuary pattern, so it is. So that one done. If anybody watching, if you're sea trout fanatics and estuary fanatics, then strongly suggest getting that tied up. So I would. Uh, right. I would say we have time for one more. So I would. Where am I? Right. The last one that I'm going to do for you folks is the Hill-Loch Stone Goat. Now, anybody that's familiar with loch style fishing for brown trout, especially in Scotland, then you'll all know the Stone Goat. Mark Hurst, great man that he is, fantastic fly fisherman, an even better fly tire. Mark invented the Stone Goat. So he did. What a fly. That's a fantastic pattern. It really, really is. Mark invented the fly, believe it or not, to be a bob fly or a middle dropper fly. But I came up with this variant of it and I fish it on the tail in the locks that I fish. And oof, it can be absolutely devastating at times. I've had days down in Galloway and Dumfries. I mean, you've had 25 and 30 trout, and 27 and 28 of them trout are taking this one fly, the same pattern all the time. And it doesn't matter where you put it on your cast. If you put it in the tail, they'll take it in the tail. If you switch it over to the top dropper or the bob fly, as you call it in Scotland, they'll take it on the bob. So they will, but predominantly, I like to fish it on the tail. I like to fish a cripple goat in the middle, and then maybe a muddler or a Cape McLaren or something on the top dropper, just as an attractor pattern. But generally, I like to fish this fly in the tail. Um, Same again, size 10. Fly this fly in a size 10. Sorry, pardon me. Oh, change the time, so I've got my other bobbin holders um set up with all my salmon flies because oh yeah, I'm trying to get my display flies ready
It's
for
alive.
later. Who's laughing at me there? Stop laughing, it's not funny.
It's alive.
I've got all my other bobbin holders with all my salmon threads for me finishing my heads and that and them, so I'm having to chop and change here every time we use a thread. But we're back to black that. Oh no, sorry, actually I'm wrong. I'm getting ahead of myself there. It's not black, it's red. Sorry, red tie and salt for the um I love the stuff from Semperfly. See that that's fluorescent red. The color rate's amazing. It gives the head of the fly. It's that extra wee bit of contrast, that extra wee bit of color. Almost like an extra striking point if you like for the fish. But doesn't need to be fluorescent red. You can use ordinary red too if you've got it. But I love that fluorescent red. Right, what do we see? Derek, where do you get them wee dentist sticks? You don't need to go to a dentist for them, do you?
No, the pharmacy, or get them online.
Aye, I'm going to, I'm going to try that
I'll
because I
send
tell you
I'll
what,
send you a couple. I'll send you a couple over.
there's sometimes I have all good intentions of sitting down at the vise and doing a pile of flies and see that trying to get the thread through the bobbin holder. See if it doesn't happen the first or second go. Sometimes I just put everything back down and walk out of the room. That's that game over. So, right, here we go. So, come down the body again. Shangle, a nice touch and turn. Down to the barb and the shank. The tail of this fly is golden pheasant crest. And I I like the I like the experiment. Sometimes a wee bit of dabbling here and there. We die and stuff. Now, I'm not great at it. In fact, to be honest with you, I'm useless at it. So, but I know boys that are fantastic at it. So yeah. So what I did was a friend of mine. She like, let's let's golden pheasant tip it, right? Now naturally that is orange, but that's dyed. That's dyed hot orange, and you can really see that you can really see the difference in it. So what I'd asked him to dye me some golden pheasant crest, and he done me ones, and there we are. There, that's that. I got him to do me one in crimson red. That's absolutely stunning. I must say, anyways, get it down to a fighter because it's the colours on them is beautiful. And then I got him to do me one sunburst. So what I'll do is I'll show you one. I'll show you a natural one. That's a natural golden pheasant crest, right? And that's one that's dyed sunburst. Now you can see the difference in the colour. So that's I like to use the sunburst in the tail of this.
It pops
So
through.
I do. Oh, it really does, Derek. It's the boy is fantastic at it. There's somebody, David McPhail. He's another one again too. He's amazing at dyeing. So he is. Aye, but I've tried my hand at it a couple of times, but I'm no good at it. I must say. I'll keep trying it, and I'll keep trying it. But so this is a fly again. I like to exaggerate the tail, like really exaggerate the tail, and the pheasant crest feathers they have, as you can see, they have that natural sweep. So this is a fly again. I like to almost not maybe not quite as long as twice the length of the shank, but not far away from it. I'll show you what I mean now once I get rid of the fluff at the end of this. And before we go any further, this golden pheasant crest can be a pain in the ass. They work with sometimes. A wee bit of wax on the thread just to keep it nice and tight. So so normally on a standard flight, you would probably be looking for your tail about there. I want my tail out there because of the size of the hackles that I tie in this flight. So roughly, you're very close to about twice the length of the shangle of the hook. Punch on up again, tie it in, and hold it. Couple of lock. I don't like that. Don't like that. Come back with turn. There we go. That's better. We can get that a wee bit prettier. There's one fiber there that's annoying me. One single fiber. So you know what? I'm just going to take it away. There we are. That's what you're looking for. If you roll it between your fingers, the heat from rolling your fingers will actually manipulate the fibers. But essentially, that's what you're looking for. That nice sweeping curve. There we are. That's better. And again, where you've started your tying silk is coming from that there. Don't be too fussy on the way down. All you're doing is locking and securing it in. But once you get to this stage, come back down. Nice even touching turns. And that keeps your body nice and uniform. And again, the rub on this fly is silver wire, silver over tinsel, whatever you've got, whatever you prefer. I don't like oval tinsel for a reason being, whenever you're winding it through your hackles, it just catches too much of the fibers in. The only time I'll ever bite the bullet and use it is tying classic salmon fleas. Again, catch it in underneath. Just manipulate the wire on the way down if you need to. Yeah. And back down again. Nice, even touching turns. And at this stage again, it's a dubbed body on this fly. It's not floss. It's a wee bit of what I think. Now, for the body, you could use a couple of different things. You could use plain black seals for, but I like to use this black ice. So it's a synthetic seals for, and there's elements of pearl and UV flash through it. You can see it there. It just gives the fly that extra wee bit of sparkle, an extra trigger, if you like, for the trout. I like to wet me. I like to damp my fingers too when I'm dubbing this on, along with the wax. It just dubs on a lot neater and a lot easier. One more for luck. There we go. That's the job.
Is that pure black or has it got bits of blue in it?
That's what I'm saying. It's black. It's this here, look. It's black ice. That's what it's called. It's called black ice. So there's I don't know if you can see that,
Yeah,
but
I can see that now. That's what I'm picking up.
aye, there's elements of green, there's elements of blue, there's elements of pearl, elements of UV. That's just all blended through the black seals for, and it just gives it that extra wee bit of sparkle in the water. See, especially on a dull day, and if the waves are rolling over the fly, the movement of the water shining, reflecting off the shiny bits in the seals for, it can be a massive trigger point for fish. So it can. That's why generally a lot of people will tie this fly and they'll put a silver tag in the arse of the fly. And originally I started tying the fly with a silver tag in the arse, but I only ever tied it with a silver tag if I was using plain black seals for. And I changed over to the black ice. And when I changed over to the black ice, I done away with the silver tag because it can be, yeah, you don't want too much. Too much bling can be a bad thing as well. So it can. But aye, that stuff, you'll see it now. See once I wrap it.
Yeah, no, I can see it, and I was just wanting to check. That was why I asked. Sorry to disturb you.
You'll see it now, and then once you put in your body hackles, and then take the brush to the fly, because the body hackles are quite dark in contrast to the rest of the fly. So whenever you're brushing out your hackles, and along with this, you're pulling the black ice through the hackles as well. So it's almost as if you're pulling an extra UV or an extra shiny hackle through your two body. You'll see what I mean now when I finish the fly. It's hard to explain, but you'll see what I mean. So, right. Right, so that's the tail of the fly done, and that's the body. Your rub material's tied on. The body hackle for the fly are magenta. I use a dyed magenta grizzle hackle, cock hackle, and a claret cock hackle. And I'm just sitting here realizing I've not dug them out, but they're here. They're here handy somewhere. Give me 2 minutes and I'll find them. So, huh. Do, do, do. They're here somewhere. I know they are. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers. There's a little tip I can give on the crests. You probably know it, but it's more
The glass.
for classic salmon. If you wanted the curve and you get OCD and you want the curves perfect, if you
You're going
wet
to say,
them and
wet
then
them and
put
put
them
them
on
on
a
a glass.
glass to
Yeah,
dry,
that's the one. I used to do that all the time, pal. So I wouldn't do it for trout flies, but as you say,
no,
I see for classic salmon flies, and you want everything sitting perfect. That's a fantastic tip, that. So it is. That's brilliant.
that's why I say classic salmon more than trout,
Uh,
you know.
the curve effect that you get over rolling them on the glass, it's fantastic, isn't it? It
Yeah,
really, really works. It's brilliant. It really, really
and
works.
it's so simple, isn't it?
Right. These hackles are here somewhere. um,
Put your head on that hook.
hey,
Put your head on the hook.
don't worry. I just look closer than I am. It's well away from me. Wouldn't be the first time I've done that. Bang stitches.
You would have caught something before you intended to.
Uh, See that wee magenta, the magenta grizzle. I keep saying to me, I keep saying to the mucker that I need him to dye me an Oleron because it's the only one that I have. There it is. There it is. There we go. It's beautiful. So, so that's it there. Right. Now, if you have a got, if you took that and put it beside pink, you would see the difference. But see that magenta? It really is. It's so hard to get real magenta. You really need somebody that knows what they're doing whenever it comes to this dyeing carry on. But real proper magenta is so hard to come by. So that's the first hackle. That's the first body hackle. Is magenta. And the second one, and another hard color to come by is real true claret. And that's about the best that I've ever came across. Um it's it's nearly not even claret anymore, it's nearly dark claret. But a lot of people that dye, you will get claret, but it's either too pink or it's too brown or it's too purple. It's so hard to get the balance right. And I don't know what it is the trout love about claret so much. Well, it must be the contrast of it in the water, but claret is just one of those colours that will fish from the start of the season all the way through the end of the season. But as I say, it was actually Stan Headley that I learned the real importance of getting proper claret from. So it was, and what a difference it makes in the flies. The guy that dyes these for me, his name's Chris Gordon. He's just a mucker of mine. I met him through work about 5 or 6 years ago. And Chris took up the dyeing. It was him too that dyed me Chris and does me tippets and all that for me. And Chris is brilliant. He really is brilliant at the dyeing. What he did was he just studied David McPhail doing it, watched it, experimented with it. And I must say, he's got it down to a fine art. So he has, but this I'm coming to land. It's only the real large fellers now left in this kip, so I'm going to be annoying him very very soon. About doing another one for me because, as I say, I haven't got much of the smaller fibers left. And when you're doing palmered body hackles, on fleece, it's kind of the small to medium fellers that you're looking for. But there we go. There's one there. It'll do for the purposes of the video. So again, just trim away the waste at the bottom of the flies. That's the claret one. Because the claret is so much darker than the magenta, always put the magenta haggle in front of the claret. If you put the claret in front of the magenta, it can overpower it, and sometimes you don't see the magenta. So we see, I'll show you. Try and line them up. So there, that's the magenta behind the claret, or sorry, in front of the claret. If I put the claret in front of the magenta and try and line them up, you would nearly almost just think that it's a bright. Can I get this in? Towards the bottom there, you would just think it was a bright claret, apart from this tip of here at the end. So always make sure that you keep the magenta in front of the claret. And what you're wanting to do is line the two tips up like that perfectly. They need to be perfectly in line whenever you're tying them in, or else they just won't wrap properly, and that's the bit that can get a wee bit footery. So when you catch them on here at the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, there we go. That should lock them in nice and proper. Trim away your excess. Right. And just tease them out, catch them in your hackle pliers. And again, I like one full turn at the shoulder. I just find that when you do that, you put that full turn and a half in at the shoulder, there's just a nearly separated there. There we go, that's better. And then come down the body. I think when you put that one full turn in at the shoulder, the hackles wrap down the body better. So that's the second turn, and you'll only get 3. Because it's a double palmered hackle you'll only get 3 turns. If you put on 4, it's too much. It's far too much. And then come up with your silver wire, wrap right through it, catch it on. That's them secured. And then nice again, wind down. Evenly spaced turns. You're looking for 4 turns of the wire. That'll take you right to the back here, right? Tease that back. Same again. Put forward out of your way. And then just a couple of turns right at the shoulder. Just to tidy it up. Secure it on. Same again. Your wire, hold your tying thread tight. That just breaks away. And you're coming on again with your toothbrush. Hold the tail and the 2 excess bits that you're going to trim away. And just take your toothbrush down. What you're doing, you're pulling out all the fibers that get caught on the rib. But not only that, the black ice, you're pulling that out through the hackle as well. And there you have it. Just get your that's that one away. And now you've got claret one. So that's us. So that's your tail done and your body hackle's done. And as you can see there the way that the claret and the magenta complements one another. Just it's the contrast. You've got the darkness of the claret along with the brightness and the vibrance of the magenta, and that really, really catches the fish's attention. So it does. Now, shoulder hackle, one of my all-time favorite fellows to tie with. and it's a peacock, a blue peacock neck feather. I just had stuff delivered yesterday. Where is it? I've left it in the living room. Give me 2 seconds. It's just in the living room today. Wait. So that's it there. So that's us. And it's from Steve at Cooksall. Steve does that bag that size. God knows how many fellers is in it. £4. Excellent value for money. And the quality of the fellers is top notch. It's not cheap shite. Steve's stuff is really, really good. That's a you're talking about, I don't know, a 10, 12 gram bag of these fellers. So 100 plus fellers easy for £4. It's excellent value. It really, really is. And it's the colour. Love the colour of it. Absolutely beautiful. That's what I love about it. And you're looking to use as much of the feather as you possibly can. So the fluff at the bottom, obviously get rid of the fluff at the bottom, but you're only going to get about 2 or 3 turns out of this feather. So you're wanting to utilize as much of it as you possibly can. And just be careful when you're strumming the fluff because it is quite a delicate feather. And again, before I go any further, a wee bit of wax in the thread. Just so we don't make a fool of ourselves. Oh, catch this up.
Do you find the Semper Fly is not waxed enough on its own?
I see, I'll be honest with you, pal. See, all threads that you buy that comes pre-waxed, I'll still always wax it. Always. I don't think any. Don't get me wrong. Obviously, it's waxed, but you know yourself. Over time, you don't know how long that spool's been sitting on a shelf, so you don't. So over time, the grip, the natural grip of the wax fades. Because whenever you wax your thread, whenever you've put your wax on your thread, the surface of your wax is still rough and grippy. But as it sits in the air and the moisture gets there, it forms a smooth film on top of it. It's the same way. See, if you left your wax sitting out in your desk, and if it's sitting there for a couple of days and you
It's
touch it,
hard as nails. Yeah.
it's hard and it's smooth. But whereas if you see, whenever you're rubbing it on your silk, it's got that roughness there and it's got that wee bit of bite. But if it's been sitting for a wee while, it loses that bite. So it's losing a wee bit of grip. So although your thread does come pre-waxed, I would always recommend when you're tying, constantly keep waxing your thread.
Yeah, I
Okay.
totally agree with that. But you're one of the few I've seen who's buying wax thread, which is actually doing. Hence, I asked.
Aye, aye. But now I must say, see Semperfly silks. They really are. I won't tie with anything else now. So I won't. I used to love Unithread. I thought Unithread was amazing. But whenever Semperfly brought out that classic waxed and Sealer Nano Silk as well, oh my god, it's just the oh, the finish and the strength. Number one, the strength of the silk. And whenever you're using the nano silk, see you're tying dry flies, 14s, 16s, 18s, you could try your best to bald the head and you just can't bald the head in the fly. It's just so fine, but yet it's so strong.
Yeah, a little slippery, but all right.
Aye, I love it now. I think it's great. Now this is the footery part. And by the way, you might be looking at that thinking that the hackle fibres in this are far too long. I can assure you, see if I could get a feller with fibres on it twice that length, I would be tying it on. see the movement on this feller in the water. You would not believe. I've done experiments with this in the bath, so I have, and then I've done experiments with it at the side of the lock on the end of fly line with underwater videos. See when you pull this feller through the water, oh my God, see the way it moves. And the longer it is, the better. It is unbelievable. And whenever I done the wee experiments, I then realised fucking what Mark Hurst realised whenever he tied the original. He done the original with guinea fowl. Mark done the original with guinea fowl, so he did. Um, and he finished the fly off with guinea fowl. But I had an extra hackle under the front, and I've got the extra claret hackle on the body. So I have, but Mark, he nailed it whenever he tied this fly. See for a brown trout, like an outright fish catching fly, he nailed it. He got it perfect. So he did.
Yeah, it's a bit like a spray fly and a spray spider, like Ian Craig ties.
Yes, yes. It's almost as a combination of both. So it
Yeah,
is. So that's the neck feller tied on. Where's my brush? And again, don't go too heavy with a brush on the neck filler because, as I say, it is quite delicate. And what I would advise, if you're going to go fishing and you're going to take these wee, make sure that you have 3 or 4 of them in the box, because if the trout are switched on to them, you will need 3 or 4 in your day. So you will, because once once they start chomping on it, the the peacock neck filler is so delicate, it'll just start to break, and the fly won't fall apart, but the blue ends will start to nip away and fray and break. So just make sure you've got 3 or 4 in the box, because there's nothing worse. We've all been there. You're away fishing and you find a fly in the box that's working, and you've only got one of them, and then you lose it or you get broke or something, and you're standing, the rod gets fired up the bank and the hack gets thrown away. You're fucking cursing your lads. No, we've all been there. So just make sure you've got fucking 3 or 4 of them in the box.
it's
Save
very
that.
similar to one of my favourites, the goat's toe.
The goat's toe, lad. That's one of my favourites too, lad. Fantastic, fantastic fly, the goat's toe. So it is. And Davies toe as well. I love Davies toe. Great sea trout fly. Fantastic sea trout fly.
A lot of
Works really,
movement.
really well up. Oh, a lot of movement. That's the exact same feller. That's the exact same feller that's using the goat's toe. So all we need now to finish the fly off is a black hen haggle. And what you're wanting to do, if you notice, what do we see? Where's my peacock fellers? What did I do on that? Anybody? Ah, there. So if you look closely at the neck feller, where's my camera? Right, there we go. You'll see at the base of the feller coming out towards where the blue starts. You'll see the dark section of the fibre, right? So your head hackle, the black hen hackle, you're looking for it to stretch just by the dark part of the fibre and just about a quarter of the way under the blue fibre. Is that making sense? Am I making sense to you, eh?
Yeah.
So from the base of the fibre at the stalk, you're coming out and you're reaching towards the blue colour. You just want your black hen just about coming in a quarter of the way under the blue. So, get me. Let me see. Um, I'm a bit of I have a bit of OCD when it comes to selecting hen hackles for the heads of wet flies, because the softer it is, the more movement it has. The softer, the better.
Where's,
Even though it's a,
where's the
even
pup?
though it,
He's very quiet.
hey,
Where's the pup? He's quiet.
that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm having to make this one my last one. Derek, he's in the kitchen in his wee cage. So he is, and the wife she's away out now in her night shift. So the wee critters, hair will be demented. He'll be wanting out for his walk. So he'll be wanting out for his walk. I've got the door closed because he'll be crying like mad. Because whenever I come in from work, he knows whenever I'm home. So whenever I'm home, he'll be going mental to get seeing me. He'll be busting his arse to see me, and he's not seen me the night yet. So he's not. So as soon as I get this
Coming
one
out
done,
cross-legged.
aye, they'll be going crazy. So he'll be going crazy because he knows I'm the one that walks him. You see, so but he knows as soon as I get in, that's him out for his big walk.
What have you got?
A wee Springer, a wee Springer Spaniel. He's only 11 weeks old. I got him. When did I? I've got him now 3 weeks. But he's a great wee character. So he is mental, crazy.
They're always mental.
Oh, they're brilliant, lads. So they are. They're brilliant. But I got him for the fishing. I got him so as I could take him fishing with me. So I did.
Keep them away from your capes.
Oh, tell me about it.
You see
That's how I
what
keep it.
Steve Cooper had with his.
Oh, my mucker, one of the boys I fish with, um, he's got uh, he's got a husky. Gary has a couple of huskies, and the husky, I'll never forget it. He was looking to shoot the dogs and everything. So he get the dog get into the room, into Gary's fly tying room. And he just walked in it and he took a video of it and he sent me the video and the two huskies are sitting on the floor, right? And you can see all the capes and the jungle cock, everything's just in bits and pieces all over the room, all over the room, all of his fly tying stuff. Get into all of it. And that's what he says to me. He says, "Do you know anybody wanting to buy a husky?" And I says, "Why? What happened?" And he sent me the photographs and the videos. And I says, "What? Jesus!" I says, "Sir, you must be fucking raging." I was like, "That's all
Nobody's
your
got
fly
it
tying."
trained now to tie it on hooks.
No, that's what he said. He said to me, he says, "If I don't get anybody to buy this dog," he says, "I'm taking it a walk out the back roads and I'm going to fucking shoot it."
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I tell you, tore everything to bits. So I think it was the jungle cock and the genetic hens and the saddles. I think that's what annoyed him most. So right, but anyway, so that's our black hen hackle tied up, and you'll see what I mean now about. Oh, no way, sir, no way.
Swear.
Oh, that's your fault for talking to me. You're distracting me.
Yeah, you got to swear now.
Hey, I'm
Blame
trying
it
to.
on
I'm
Pete.
trying to. Right, let's try this again. Did I wax that thread there? Did I? No.
Yeah.
No, not sure.
Did I?
Yeah,
Did I
you
do
can
it there?
see the
Did I?
wax on it.
I didn't know. I'm still
Yeah, you
slow.
can see the wax on the thread.
Right. Take two. Take two. I done a I done a tie-in video one night from a YouTube channel, and it was this fly, only a muddled version, the Stone Goat muddler, and it's done with black deer hair in the head. And you know how many times my tie-in silk slipped in the deer, and I made a mess of the muddler head on it. And the whole time the video was recording, and I said to myself, I was like, I can't even put that online. I was like, making all them mistakes and blah blah blah. And then I was talking to one of the muckers and I was telling him about it. I was saying, fucking head's demented, sir, fucking trying to do that. I was like, I don't know what was going wrong. And he said to me, he says, "You know what they do?" He says, he says, "Why don't you just put the video up anyway?" He's like, it shows everybody that you're still human. We all make mistakes. I
Hmm.
went, "You know what?" You know what? You're fucking right. I says, you're bang on the money, lad. You're still right. But my God, see that night, oh, the vice nearly went out the window. So it nearly went out the window. And I don't know what it was. It's just one of them things. The thread was waxed. The gear hair was all trimmed, all nice and lovely. See, just trying to get it to spin, trying to form the head properly. Oh, I just couldn't get it. I tried 5 or 6 times. The videos on my YouTube channel, they see, you'll see how there. Now you can see how long the black hen hackle needs to be there at the head.
Yeah.
And that's all you need is 2 turns. 2 turns is more than plenty. And then just come in. Oh, this is going to slip. Managed to save it. Managed to save it. Just one for luck. Right. Come on. We'll get rid of that. Pull all that back and just tidy up your head. Now, here at this stage, you want to build a nice wee fluorescent red head on the fly, because what it does, you've got the vibrance of the blue peacock, and then you've got the dullness of the bottom of the blue peacock cloaked by the black hen. So it's just all dark, dark, dark the whole way up the fly. So if you build a nice wee fluorescent red head, it's that wee extra striking point at the top of the fly. And then once you've done that, just come on, whoop, finish. 1, 2, 3. And one more again for luck. And this is another fly too that really, really benefits having the same profile as the mayfly. See that umbrella effect with the hackles? You see, I like to get this right dead center in the middle to create that. There we go. But, no, you see, it slapped. That's no good, Paul. That's no good. Try it again. Right.
Yeah, just having that slightly longer hackles makes it pulse, doesn't it?
Aye. Yep. It sure does. Right, there we go. Got it that time. Boom. That's it. So, come on, take that away. So we'll do the same again. I'll show you the same again. Pull all these fibers right. Right. And as I say, this is the same one. You want the same effect as we had on the mayfly. You want that umbrella effect. And whenever you're using the hairdryer, if you keep the hairdryer right up to the front of the fly, it'll close the hackles right down. If you keep it a wee bit back from the fly, it'll give them that umbrella effect. So just get all these teased out. When you're teasing them out, as I say, just be careful with a peacock neck because it is so fragile.
I must admit, my fly tying room's going to look more like a whore's boudoir because I had hair straighteners the week before, now hair dry.
Don't get me started about hair straighteners. See, when it comes to salmon flies using bucktail, you can go way over the top sometimes. You know what I mean? And it's not necessary. See, to catch fish, tying them kind of flies, it's really, really not necessary. So it's not. The salmon don't care. The salmon and the trout really don't care. I can assure you, they really, really don't. But this is it's just the way we are. Sometimes we like to be pernickety and we want everything to be perfect.
That's a
But,
bit of
right,
OCD.
aye. So we see now. We'll put the profile on the fly now. Now, see when I'm doing that with a hairdryer, right? You can see the air vibrating, pulsing through the fibre of the fly.
Yeah.
This is what happens under the water. That effect there. Only it happens at first, but that first up on the fly, just, 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 that's the effect with the water is on the fly. And that's what you're looking for there with the stone goat. That the
Nice
same
fly.
umbrella. So it is. That's what you're after. That nice, even umbrella shape all the way around the fly. And now, whenever you see the head hackles and the shoulder hackles in my flies, you'll understand why we have the exaggerated tail. If that tail wasn't exaggerated out to where it is, it would be away back in here, and the head hackles and the shoulder hackles would envelope it, and you wouldn't see the tail. You wouldn't get the effect of the tail in the fly. So that's why I exaggerate the tails. So it is. But It's all right. It'll do. It catches fish. That's for damn sure. It catches fish. As I say, that's a variant of the brilliant Mark Hurst Stone Goat. So it is. But I need to go and see the wee pup, guys. So I do. But
I
listen,
like
it's been
that
an
one.
absolute
Nice
pleasure.
fly. Thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure to tie for you. So it has. And it won't be the last time, guys. If he's ever want me, well, if he's ever want me on again, Derek, feel free to send out the invitation, pal. It'd be my pleasure to come and do it all again for you. So it would.
Cheers,
I
Paul.
hope that I hope that I hope that's inspired some of you to get on the vice and get some of them flies tied up and get out there and use them. So it has. I hope it's helped. And listen, guys, if there's anything ever you want to ask me, anything I can ever do for you, I'm on the WhatsApp group. Feel free to ask folks, okay? But
Thanks.
I'm gonna
Great.
I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna go and tend to the wee pup, guys.